For years, I thrived in the high-pressure business world, but the workaholic life finally caught up with me. I was 35, very overweight, in chronic pain with severe mobility issues, terrible diet, no exercise. My health was a complete wreck. Then I went to a gentle yoga class and felt truly relaxed. The stress just melted away. I went from a size 18 to a size 8. I stopped getting sick. Pain disappeared. I learned to open my heart and I felt happy for the first time in years. So I said goodbye to the business world and started teaching. Yoga doesn't have to be strenuous. The easiest movements can trigger major release of chronic symptoms, no matter your age.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hello, I'm Deborah Devine, and that was my story. Because my heart was closed and I was all up in my head, I couldn't have a truly satisfying relationship. But then I found gentle yoga. It opened my heart and I could relax more in my relationship. Slowing down my breath allowed me to get out of the head and into the body, where I could listen to what my heart was whispering. This led to a deeper and more passionate relationship with my husband. Today, I'm sharing a very simple yoga practice that allows you and your partner to enjoy slowing things down and limbering up in anticipation of either a warm and loving embrace or a hot date later tonight. We begin seated with our backs to each other and grounding. Then we move the spine and activate the fourth chakra, the heart chakra. Downward facing dog allows us to release the legs and the hips. Then we enjoy a serene shavasana and rest deeply. Do the whole series, or if you're busy, just 1 or 2 poses will help you feel far more frisky. Let's start the healing. Joining me today, Tony. Hi, Tony. Tony's been using yoga for many years to help him deal with stress on a day-to-day basis, and this is helping his relationship with Heather. And Heather. Hi, Heather. Tony's wife is joining us, and she's used yoga for many years to keep focused on what's important, their relationship. So we're going to be coming into a wonderful partner sequence, sitting on bolsters. Let's come to seated. Back to back, in a comfortable way. One of the best ways to come to a seated partner pose is to bring the hips up a little bit higher than the knees. This will help the natural curves of the spine and help our breathing as well. So with our spines touching, we're just going to settle into the ground and feel our foundation and feel the breath of our partner right behind us. There's this aspect of breathing and connecting our energies through the spine here. Close your eyes, let go of your jaws, come into an awareness of your own breath patterns, and then become aware of your partner's breath patterns. Over the course of several breath cycles, you might find that your breathing comes into sync. And when that happens, then you can begin to move together. So with the male moving forward and the female coming back, using your breath to guide the movements. So as you're moving forward, the exhalation is happening. And then as you're coming back against your partner's back, you're inhaling. And this happens in a very slow way so that you can really feel how your bodies are moving together. We're integrating the energies of the male and the female, joining them. This is union, yoga. This is what yoga means. Now you can come back to center and then begin to move from side to side. So we'll start with the right on the male side, moving to the right and then the left, side to side. Let your breaths slow down. Become very aware of how your foundation and your partner's foundations and the way that you are coming together through the spine is affecting your movements. It's affecting your breathing. It's also affecting your heartbeat. We're dealing with the fourth chakra when we're looking at yoga for romance, the heart chakra, the chakra of love, loving kindness, compassion, forgiveness. Now coming back to center and then beginning to twist. So we'll be twisting to the right. Both of us are going to be twisting to the right, and you can reach around and let your hand rest on your partner's knee. And then just rest there for a few breaths and see if you can inhale and lengthen on the front of the spine on the in-breath. And then exhale, go into that spiral a little bit more deeply, but make sure that you're not going too far. You'd like to stay within the boundary of comfort and discomfort. And if you move into the pain zone, just back off a little bit. Heather and Tony are both longtime yogis, so they're very flexible. If you and your partner have different flexibility levels, go to the lowest common denominator and make it enjoyable for both of you. Exhale completely and feel the belly come to the front spine in these twists. Then we'll come back to center. We'll just give ourselves a moment to integrate the effects of that very effective twist. And then we'll go to the opposite side, turning to the left. Taking your hand and reaching for your partner's knee, your partner's leg, and using this opportunity to really feel this beautiful ringing out of the belly organs, ringing out of the heart and the lungs. And you can also release the jaw, release your eyes, release your forehead and your eyebrows, and let all of that stress and tension that may have been building up just drop down into the ground on the out breaths. Now, please continue to take some more partner yoga while you're seated. And when we come back from the break, we'll have some more healing yoga for romance. And then coming back to center, allowing that to integrate.
Healing yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
My name is Tony Murdoch, and I'm 62. Heather and I have been together for 20 years. Meditation and yoga have really helped to keep us together. It has helped us to move into the sensual part of our relationship, especially in our early years, but it helped us to keep that alive in our older years as well.
Yes, I agree.
Welcome back. In today's episode, we're using our gentle yoga practice to help us with romance. Tony, how important is communication in a relationship?
It's very important. We make a point every day of asking each other how our day has gone. And we try to be open in our emotions. We're often thinking each other's thoughts, feeling each other's feelings, completing each other's sentences. So we're in sync in this way. You know, once we actually started breaking out in the same song.
That's amazing. Well, these next few poses are going to be wonderful for helping communication. We're going to be sitting facing each other for Baddha Konasana, the butterfly. And using a bolster to support you and keep your head and your neck and your shoulders high, your spine extended. We're going to be bringing the soles of the feet together. And the soles of the feet coming together, allowing the knees to come apart, might be a little bit hard on your hips, might be a little bit hard on your knees. So having an extra towel or blanket by your side to support your knees might be a wonderful practice. So we begin just by looking at each other and having a soft face, just releasing any tension that you might find, letting the jaws relax and letting the eyebrows let go, and just looking at your partner with love. So these beautiful in-breaths are opening your lungs and opening your ribs out and up. Now, go to the corners of your mouth and smile, and then take each other's hands. And then we'll just be tilting back and forth again. The inhalation is going to move you back, and the exhalation is moving you forward. We take the best qualities of each side and bring them together in this practice. And now, coming back to center and moving in circles, moving in a circle. Very gentle movements. And these movements are coming from the hip creases. When we're grounded through our sit bones and our knees are supported, we can feel in a firm and safe place. We can use our breath. So we're exhaling as we move forward and inhaling as we move back. Coming back to center. And then using your left hand to rest on your knee, and your right arm is going to come up and over for a lovely side bend. Grounding through the right sit bone, and then coming back to center, left arm comes up, opening up, using your breath to breathe light and spaciousness into any areas that feel constricted. Now, come back to center and begin to watch the breath. Long, slow, smooth in-breath, expanding the belly, expanding the lungs, expanding the heart, and long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breaths. Now, let's take our hands again for round 2, moving back and forth. Look at each other's eyes and feel this wonderful warmth and love coming out from each other's eyes and through the hands. The arms and the hands are extensions of the heart. We soothe each other with our hands, and we embrace each other with our arms. This is a wonderful way to cultivate a connection. Please continue to enjoy variations on this partner practice. And when we come back from the break, we'll have more healing yoga for romance. Now coming back for side bends.
Healing yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hi, my name is Heather Murdoch, and I'm 62 years of age. What I'm hoping to take away today from the yoga practice is just a reminder that our relationship is important. I think it's important for couples to take time for themselves and look after themselves so that the relationship blossoms and grows. I love you.
And I love you.
Welcome back. In today's episode, we're using a gentle yoga practice to help us with romance. Heather, as a woman, I've been feeling very judgmental about myself. I'm all in my head. It was very difficult for me to feel genuine passion. And I'd like to know what your yoga practice has brought to you in terms of your passion feelings.
I found that my yoga practice has helped me relax tremendously. When I relax, the stress is gone. I can be in the present moment. I've learned to accept my body and myself. And being in the present moment, accepting myself, being open, having an open heart has helped our romantic relationship tremendously.
That's fantastic. Well, I think these next poses are going to be really wonderful for moving down into the hips and the legs. And we're going to be opening up the second chakra, the chakra of passion and reproduction and creation. Now we're going to come into downward facing dog using a chair or a kitchen counter or a desk and a belt. So Tony's going to be coming down to the chair and using the chair back for support for the forearms and the head. Heather's going to be coming behind and maybe just stepping back a little bit more here. Yes, Tony, that's wonderful. Downward facing dog is an excellent way to release the spine, the hips, and the legs. And this belt that Heather's going to be using is going to help the femurs come back into the hip sockets a little bit more deeply. So we want to get the belt around the top of the legs. So you can just go ahead and put that underneath Tony's belly here. Yes. And then we're aiming to get up around the top of the thighs so that the heads of the femurs can move back and deeper into the hip sockets. The feet are wide, the heels are out, the toes are in, the upper legs are rotating inwardly, which is protecting the SI joints. And then by taking the right foot in between the two legs and then grounding on the back foot, Heather can now just begin to lean back and let Tony breathe long, slow, smooth, in and out breaths, extending the spine. We're moving the heads of the femurs back so that the pelvis can come up and over and let the spine pour out like water. We're also activating the first and second chakra with this pose. Even though it looks like 50 shades of downward facing dog, we're really working with the energy body here. Let the out breath be complete. Feel the belly come to the front spine and pause. And then let the in breath come. You can ask your partner how far to go, or if you need to back off, and just be very vocal with each other about how this is working for you. This is a wonderful pose to release tension out of the hip flexors. And when we're having our passionate moments, this is the area that might be getting stuck, and we are really working to move energy out. We'll let Tony come up for a break. You can walk forward, Tony, and we'll let the belt go. And then we can have Heather come. So in Heather's case, maybe she'd like to have her hands on either side of, yes, we'll have Heather move her hands on either side. And then taking the feet apart, heels out, toes in, and Tony will take the belt around the upper legs here with Heather as well, right into the hip creases here. And then using that front foot in between the legs and the back leg to brace you, beginning to just gently lean back. Long, slow, smooth in-breaths and long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breaths. As women, we experience a lot of pelvic challenges. We've got PMS, we have menopause issues, and a lot of stuck energy in the hips and the pelvic area are responsible for that. So using the breath to breathe light and spaciousness into any areas that are calling for attention is a wonderful way to bring a sense of expansion there. Now, very gently releasing, and then Heather, you can come back toward the chair back and stand, so you can let go, yes. And then we'll switch with Tony on the chair again for a different version of 50 Shades of Downward Facing Dog. These belts come in so handy when we're using them to help us get more integration between the legs, the hips, and the spine. In this case, we're going to be going to the top of the sacrum with the belt. So that is just below the waist. And then one side of the rope is going to come underneath the inner leg, and the other one comes into the inner leg as well. We're trying to get the femurs to rotate inwardly. So the left femur is moving in, the right femur is moving in as well. And then by grounding yourself and then drawing back and then opening the belt a little bit more, that is going to create this wonderful sensation of more spaciousness into the pelvis. Making sure that the belt is in the right place is really important. We'd like to draw the top of the sacrum in. That's how we were designed in the first place. So making sure that the belt is underneath the waist and using the breaths. We're activating the first chakra and the second chakra here. The first chakra is about stability and safety and being grounded. The second chakra is about flow. It's about reproduction and creativity. It's about passion. This is a wonderful sequence to be doing before a hot date. Now, please continue to enjoy 50 Shades of Downward Facing Dog with your partner while we break. And when we come back, we'll have more healing yoga for romance. Now we'll switch sides.
Healing yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
The heart is the most complex and sophisticated area of the body. Leonardo da Vinci spent many years creating advanced drawings of machines meant for war. After studying the workings of the heart, he wrote in his journals, clearly the work of a master, and he never created another war machine as long as he lived.
Welcome back. We're working with yoga for romance in this episode, and we have worked with our partners connecting through the back of the spine. We've also worked with facing forward and uniting our breath, synchronizing our energies, moving into the hips and the legs and the low back to release tension. And now we're coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, the reclining goddess pose. We're going to be using a bolster and a blanket and a block. And if you don't have these things at home, you can always just use rolled up blankets, rolled up towels. The block is going to be raising the top of the spine up. And we're going to be putting a bolster on the block so that we are creating an incline. And then a blanket is going to support the head and the neck. And then we have a round bolster to support the knees. Wonderful. So we come into sitting right in front of the bolster. We want to protect the low back. And we use the hands to help us come down. The shoulder blades come down the back one at a time, broadening through the collarbones. The soles of the feet can touch and the knees can come away from each other. If there's any pinchiness in the low back, just simply draw your hips away from the bottom of the ribs. And you can hold hands with your partner. This is a wonderful pose to end the practice. It's very soothing on the nervous system, and it's also really wonderful to be able to connect with someone that you love this way. We notice any areas that might be a little bit constricted, and then we see what our partner's breath patterns are. And perhaps we could be synchronizing our breaths with our partner's breath and slowing everything down. We take a long, slow, smooth in-breath into the whole body, breathing in light and spaciousness, and exhaling tension, exhaling holding. Another long, slow, smooth in-breath fills the entire body, your partner's body, breathing in light and spaciousness, and exhaling tension, and resting deeply in peace. Please enjoy Shavasana for at least another 15 minutes, and we'll see you next time on Healing Yoga. Namaste.